Hello everyone, and welcome to my Sister Wives Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Meri Brown and Janelle Brown, who were once more well known for their distant tolerance than for their genuine connection, have shocked sister wives, viewers by rekindling their bond and reappearing as best friends, re-establishing a sisterhood that many believed had been irreparably damaged. Under the surface of the Brown family dynamic, Meri and Janelle's tension simmered for years. From the earliest seasons, their differences in personality, parenting, and emotional expression were crystal clear. Meri, the strong-willed and often guarded first wife, always seemed to stand on a different wavelength than Janelle, the pragmatic, independent, and fiercely private second wife. The two women, on the other hand, have found each other in the most unexpected of ways, not as co-wives competing for affection or attention, but as women who have survived the same storm, walked through the same fire, and emerged stronger, wiser, and open to healing, after experiencing heartbreak, betrayals, personal growth, and the slow crumbling of their shared plural marriage with Kody Brown. It started off slowly. Kind words exchanged during confessionals, quiet support on social media, shared moments at family gatherings, but it quickly grew into a visible, powerful alliance that fans can't stop talking about. With Christine long gone and thriving in Utah, and Robin still clinging to the last threads of her relationship with Kody, Meri and Janelle found themselves at a pivotal crossroads. Do they go their separate ways for good, or do they finally sit down, without cameras, without Kody, and just speak from the heart? That heart-to-heart moment came one crisp evening in Flagstaff, at a neutral location Meri had chosen, a cozy tea house tucked away from the world, quiet enough for vulnerability, safe enough for truth. Meri and Janelle talked about themselves for 3 hours, not about Kody, the show, or Coyote Pass. About how bad it is to be out of the game. About the year after year of silent sacrifices. About the bitterness that had hardened into silence. They laughed, and then something extraordinary happened. A deep, belly-aching laugh, not just a polite one, over the memory of their children playing in the backyard with burned casseroles, muddy footprints, and Kody panicking about dinner being late. That laughter shattered the years of animosity. In that very instant, both of the women came to the realization that while they had previously competed with one another for love in the same marriage, they now shared something far more valuable: liberation. They were no longer wives orbiting Kody's chaotic world. They were individual women who had grown past it. And in that space, a friendship, not born out of necessity, but out of mutual respect and shared history, began to grow. The healing didn't stop there. Weeks later, Meri joined Janelle on a spontaneous trip to North Carolina to visit Madison and her grandkids. They snapped selfies. They shared stories over wine. They even wore matching t-shirts that said, "Wife, Sister, Survivors." Fans exploded with joy online, speculating whether a spin-off show could be in the works. Just Meri and Janelle hitting the road, reclaiming their identities beyond the Sister Wives label. Why not two? They had earned it. Both women had suffered from emotional neglect, broken promises, and a patriarch who frequently failed to recognize their true worth over the course of their lives. Meri and Janelle were, on the other hand, rewriting their own story on their own terms now that they were free from the constraints of a plural marriage that no longer served them. Janelle spoke in a recent podcast episode about how forgiveness played a major role in her transformation. It wasn't just about forgiving Kody, she said. It was about being kind to Meri and asking for her forgiveness, too. We both could have done things differently. However, now we can do it right. During an Instagram Live, Meri echoed that sentiment, declaring, "It took years, but I finally see Janelle for who she truly is: a warrior, a formidable woman. And I'm proud to call her my friend." The fans' responses were overwhelming. Comment sections overflowed with messages of support, applause, and relief. "This is the relationship we wanted to see all along," one commenter wrote. Another said, "Meri and Janelle together is the real love story of sister wives." Even Christine posted a throwback photo of the three women with a caption, "When sisterhood wins, we all win," from her corner of happiness. And while Robin remained conspicuously silent on the matter, some insiders hinted that she felt uneasy about the newfound bond between her former co-wives, perhaps realizing that the balance of power had shifted, that the women once divided were now united and stronger than ever. However, Meri and Janelle were unconcerned about appearances or approval. They were finally living their truth, and the world could either watch or move aside. What will they do next? A joint blog titled Reclaimed Sisterhood, set to launch later this year. It will reportedly focus on healing after polygamy, finding female friendship after betrayal, and navigating family when the rules have changed. Sources say the blog will be deeply personal, offering stories from their shared journey, moments of pain and triumph, and even advice for other women coming out of complex relationships. One powerful moment readers can expect to read about is the Christmas of 2024, when Janelle invited Meri to join her and the kids for the first time in over a decade. Meri was hesitant at first, unsure if her presence would stir old wounds. She knew she was at home. However, when she entered Janelle's home and saw Hunter and Savannah awaiting her with a plate of her favorite peanut butter fudge and a warm welcome. That night, they played board games, watched old family videos, and even FaceTimed Christine to share the joy. It was the first time I felt whole in years, Meri later wrote in her journal. Insiders claim that that entry will be one of the first posts in Reclaimed Sisterhood. Fans also hope that the two of them will talk together at upcoming TLC events, not as wives of Kody, but rather as authors, advocates, and women who chose love over hate. Meanwhile, Kody has been noticeably absent from these developments. In a brief appearance during a Season 20 teaser, he remarked, "If they want to be friends, that's their business. I've got my own life now." The distance was evident, and it could have been deliberate. For Meri and Janelle, the path forward no longer involves seeking Kody's approval or longing for his attention. Not only have they moved on from the man, but also from the roles they had to play for decades. They're writing a new chapter, one with laughter, honesty, and most importantly, choice. What makes this evolution even more powerful is the public transparency with which they're sharing it. Both women have begun speaking at women's empowerment seminars, discussing how internalized rivalry and patriarchal systems pitted them against each other for years. Janelle stated recently on a panel, "We were never meant to be enemies." That was the structure talking. That was survival mode. But now that the dust has settled, I see Meri clearly, and I respect her more than ever. It is a message that has had a profound impact, particularly on women who have experienced similar relationships. In point of fact, experts on polygamous cultures have praised their openness, stating that it could open the door to more extensive discussions regarding emotional abuse, overcoming religious pressure, and redefining family in a way that is different from what is expected of them. And it's not just talk. Meri and Janelle are reportedly working on a joint memoir, tentatively titled From Co-Wives to Co-Warriors, Our Journey to Sisterhood, which will explore the early days of their relationship, the conflicts and cold wars, and how they managed to turn decades of tension into a bond that's now unbreakable. This transformation, of course, didn't happen overnight. There were tears. There were setbacks. There were long silences. But what made the difference was intention. Both women made the conscious choice to show up differently, not just for each other, but for themselves. And that commitment is paying off in ways that even they couldn't have predicted. Fans say there's a lightness in their faces now, a joy that wasn't there before. One TikTok user made a comment, "You can see it in their smiles. They've dropped the weight of Kody, and they're finally free." It's the kind of arc reality TV rarely delivers. True reconciliation, genuine growth, and a relationship reborn not for the cameras, but for the heart. As one fan put it, forget Kody. The real conclusion comes from Meri and Janelle's friendship. And honestly, they might be right. Because sometimes the greatest love story isn't romantic. It's the healing between two women who were told they could never truly be friends, and who proved everyone wrong by choosing each other anyway.